It's two parts. I've already said that I think there's a lot of good players out there been performing and piqued my interest over a period of time. Obviously with the assistant coaches, we spent a lot of time looking at that. One eye on obviously the game coming up, but also a little bit further ahead. We looked at the depth across each position, so I looked at that. And so out of that we came up with a group of guys that be interesting to have a look at this week, and from that we'll narrow it down.
What does Jim McKenzie bring to the table?
Well, he's got a like in the end he coaches an attacking brand of rugby and always has. So he's been really true to that, the ethic, the principles of the game around attack. So I think he's a good addition because he's very committed to that, very passionate about that. I've worked with him, so I'm familiar with obviously how he functions. So that's it gives me some familiarity. And obviously you've got two coaches that have been here in the last 2 years. It was their second year, and they got a lot of experience too. So I think we've got a really good mix of the technical principles, also the attitudinal bit that you need, and certainly some of the innovation that I think synonymous with Wallaby rugby.
What did you make of the Super Rugby final where the Brumbies guys were coming into camp tonight?
Look, I enjoyed the final. I thought they played really well in the end. It was just a little bit of a stretch. The Chiefs changed their game in the last period and came back, and I thought it was a really commendable effort. There's a lot of good rugby played by the Brumbies in the last 3 weeks, and it's been complicated. They were caught in Auckland, playing breakdowns, so to stay overnight. So it's been, that's something we've been in constant communication. I've literally just got off the phone to Jake. In the end, that's the way the calendar is. It's complicated the way the final is. The reward for being in the final is that you don't get much of a break. So, and that's what's happened, and that's just the way it is. So we've tweaked today a little bit around the fact that they were there, and so I'm accommodating in that sense because we haven't compromised what we need to do. So that's just the way I function. In the end, we recognise and reward them. We don't want to penalise them for being in the final, but at the same time, we've got business to attend to.
Did anyone particularly stand out?
Well, I'm not the sort of guy that gets interested in a player on a one-off performance. I think that the guys that have been doing well for them did well for them, and I never judge someone on one error or one mistake. It's really performance over time. So the guys that are coming in from the Brumbies are the ones that have been doing particularly well consistently. That's not to say there aren't others there that have been doing that, but they're the ones that are interested in the positions that we're interested in.
What about Jesse Buck? He made a couple of poor or bad plays under pressure. Do you read into that too much in looking at all of these things?
No, I don't judge people. I judge them on their potential. Every rugby player I know who's been involved with makes mistakes, so it's more about what the positives they bring. And I think he's got a really good balance to his game. I think there's a lot of upside in what he can do. So I don't know the guy. I've never shaken hands with him, so I'm looking forward to meeting him and seeing what potential there is in a framework which we think will be positive going forward.
Clyde Rathbone threw out there something this morning about a tweaking of the laws to open the game up a bit. You're on the same page there?
I think, it's a constant battle. If you track the trends of the game over time, it's always, sometimes it's a lurch from being a defence-based game for a couple of years, and it lurches the other way. I think that we've found a middle ground, and each year it shifts slightly, and ends up this year's been very much around the breakdown contest, and teams have been able to play in that space. But I think fundamentally the teams that play with ball in hand shouldn't be penalised for that. So as long as and I think the lawmakers and referees and everyone's getting their mind around that, the game's got to be in the end it's about scoring tries, and so that's got to be foremost in the thinking. But there's so many bits to the game that you can tweak something that'll have an impact over there that wasn't intended. So you've got to be careful. I think that the spirit, the way it's being refereed, the way it's being coached, I think the spirit. I think the Chiefs got through in the final. They played a lot of football in that game, and in the end they got through. So that was a reward for the way they played it. So I think that's something we've got to keep looking at every year.
James, back to the legislative test. Is it daunting or exciting?
Very exciting. It's we'll understand where we're at. Come game one, and we've got 2 weeks to prepare for a massive test here in Sydney. We hope we have a massive crowd supporting us out out at Homebush, and you know that's something that's very exciting. And then we get the chance to go again the week after that in Wellington.
James, how do you see the momentum at the moment? Obviously, after the Lions tour and the disappointment there, and the Brumbies making the final, a bit of a, a nice surprise. Coming into the Bledisloe, how do you see it all kind of, looking at the moment?
I think it's looking good. I thought the Brumbies did exceptionally well the last 2 weeks. The game against the Bulls in Pretoria was a mammoth effort and a fantastic game, and I thought they played incredibly well against the Chiefs, and I think the guys coming in here are very excited about the opportunity that's ahead of us. It's a fresh start under a new regime, and I guess for us it's now our turn to sink our teeth into it and get on with business. We don't have a lot of time to prepare for that first test, so we've got to get down to work pretty much immediately, and that'll all kick off tonight and tomorrow morning. So it's in that sense we're looking forward to what's ahead of us, and I think it's it's very exciting. I know, speaking to a number of players, they just can't wait to get into camp and get stuck into it.
You've spent a lot of time being coached by Ewen. How exciting is it for him to be in charge of the Wallabies then?
Oh, I'm thrilled for him. I think we've spent the last 4 years together in Queensland, and I'm thrilled that he's got the opportunity. Obviously, a guy that's spent a lot of time coaching at the Super Rugby level and the level below, and he's got the opportunity now, and he made it pretty clear that this is what he wanted to do. And I think I'm thrilled to see what he's able to do with the national side. And everything's a little bit different, in a Test team compared to a Super Rugby franchise. So I'm pretty keen to see the differences that he'll bring to the team.
James, after during the Lions series when came to the final, you got the bill out made of the Jacks, a few of the senior players after that said that they'll revisit it at the end of the series. And has that been done? And is that going to be done? Is it going to be? I know that was not the year, but is that issue going to be addressed?
What, the issue that they were out that night? Or?
Yeah, that they were out that night.
I think.
Players like National Super all sort of suggested that wasn't necessarily done. That it wasn't fully dealt with.
I think they understand that's not what's acceptable being part of the Australian team, and that's, we've got to make sure that that's clear, and as long as we make that clear, then, everyone understands where they stand in not just for those individuals, but for everyone. And, once you know where you stand, then if you go away from that, and then that brings you into a place that you probably don't want to be. So that's something that we'll make pretty clear, and have made pretty clear.
Ewan, how many players in the squad fall in the testing bob category where you have to shake hands, you haven't actually met them yet?
No, I actually haven't done a count, but there's to be honest, if you look at the Australian rugby, I've probably coached 80 out of the 170. There's a few more that I've had in academies and whatever. I mean, like a Scott Fardy, I had at Waratahs Academy. There are guys like that, Peter Beetham, Waratahs Academy. So there are guys I've known some time. I haven't seen them for a long time. So there's only one or two that I wouldn't have actually met proper. There's some I don't know well, but at least I've been in their company and shaken and said hello and had a chat. So I sent them all a text yesterday and said I was looking forward, and sent them all my details. So I've opened up the line of communication. So got a lot of good comments back. And so in the end, it's a human business. We can get involved in the technical and tactical side of it, but it's a human business. There's a bunch of people. You want to get them pointing in the same direction, and you can't make any assumptions in that space. So the only way you can do it is to get face to face and communicate. And so we'll spend time doing that. That's one of the advantages of being in camp environment, is you get that opportunity. So we'll invest there.
When you announced the extended squad, you said you hadn't had a chance to speak to Mike. Can you talk to him now?
I've since that time I've left Queensland, so farewell and have a quick chat to him. But I haven't spent any time talking about the Wallabies. So I think I talk to Quade as a person and about what's going on in his life. He's as I do. I talk to lots of people. So I've spoken to James. I've spoken to a bunch of people, and I'll continue to do that. That's just an ongoing business. It's a matter of investing staff as well. The staff I didn't know so well, but I've been investing in that space. We're all here together at the moment, and so that's all. That'll all go on. That'll continue to go on. That's a process that never finishes. So I'm looking forward to that.
Reports today Benji Marshall signed with Auckland Blues. What's your opinion on how he'll go in Super Rugby?
I guess it remains to be seen. I'll watch on television with interest. I hope he goes well.
Do you think Australian franchises have missed out on a talent? Or
Oh, I think there's always people interested in high quality footballers. The question is, you know, where is that and what his transition was going to be like. So you can't, you don't know until they're happy to make the 2-year investment. Well, that's good luck to them. And you know, I think that he's indicated all the way along that he had an interest in not playing for the Wallabies and playing for New Zealand. So it probably suits all of his ambitions.